Hey guys, this is Laurel of the Dabbling Hook, and I really need to make this quick, but you know, it probably won't happen, but I really need to make this quick because we have errands to go run, and the minions and Father Minion, they're out running errands for one of them. So, I'm stealing some time. Alright, I just dropped my book, so hang on. Okay, this has been a week of not getting anything done. Yep. I have bags and bags and bags of stuff, and I'm starting things, and I don't know why. Yes, I normally start things, but not at the rate I've been doing it lately, so I need to stop because it's really getting in the way of everything. Yep, and it's already the 7th. Is it the 7th? It's the 6th. It's Saturday, the 6th, and I have not gotten one hat done, and I've only gotten, I think, 2 headbands done, so yeah. Nothing's getting done. I will say though, one of the things that's been occupying my time is I'm going to be in a collaboration with somebody in the fall, and I have to work on a pattern, and it's simple enough because I like simple with just a little bit of oomph to it, but I like simple, so it's going to be simple enough, but for some reason I'm having such a hard time writing it up. I'm experiencing the not all yarns are made equal. So when it says worsted 4, I'm trying to find a yarn that once the pattern's released that would be more accessible to everybody. So I'm struggling with all the different number 4 weight yarns for the pattern that I'm doing. So anyway, I just I contacted the coordinator, and it may be a non-issue because I have to use one of the indie dye yarns, and I'm hoping it's worsted. I have a feeling it might be DK, which I guess I'll deal with. It's gonna make it take so much longer to finish. But anyway, this is me complaining. You're probably hearing noise. The fan's on. It is hot. It is not overly humid, but humid enough. And there is breeze, but it's hot breeze. It's hot. We were complaining, oh, where's the sun? It's raining, it's dreary. Well, it just bypassed everything else, and it's all about hot weather. So anyway, before I go on, I am going to turn you over to the video that will announce the winner of the next random act of sharing, and I'll be right back. Hey everyone, this is Laurel, and it is time to pick the winner for the next random act of sharing, and that is for the Aminaco cat made by me. Alright, URL is in, 87 unique commenters, so let's see. OMG. Alright, enough said. I'll see you guys. Okay. Bye. So, you guess why I laughed out loud? Not only for the person who won it, but the fact that, well, I don't think now she can say that. She says she's not, Amica Ruby's not her favorite thing. I know that. And she's not good at it, but she's getting better being a tester and all that. So, of all people, and I think, was this one of the first ones that you made? Because I goaded you on, and here you go. I'm debating calling it, well, on my end, you can rename it anything you want, but either glitter or sparkles or sparks, because, so this is made out of Hellspun. Line Brand's homespun yarn. I know a lot of people don't like it. I like it. There are a couple of people who love working with it. But of the ones that I have one other lighter color that was meant for somebody else, so I didn't touch it. Not sure if it's still going to be meant for someone else. But all the other colors that I have are in this brownish colorway. I think I have 3 others that are called Prairie, and I forget because I threw the band away for this one. But I forget what this one was, but it was just shades of browns and almost goldish, very fall leaf, the turning leaf color kind of brown. But what I did is I put it away. I held it with a strand of shawl in a ball with the glitter, and just to give it a little oomph because the brown was a little so. And what I also tried, so you'll see maybe it looks a little, well, it's typical for me, a little crooked on things, but I actually sewed in the parts as I went. There is a group on Ravelry that, I don't want to say it's defunct, but it's been inactive for a long time. It's Amineko Lovers, and I had run across it years ago. And excuse if I'm touching my face, but it is quite warm. I'd run across it years ago where I saw, oh, they somebody gave directions to add the limbs as you go. But it's from bottom up. I make the cat from top down. I haven't done the separate piece. Other than the arm, the limbs and stuff, I do the head and the body together, and I do it top down. I might try doing it bottom up next time. But I added the limbs, and I kind of judged where they should go since I'm doing it opposite where the directions called for. So things are a little crooked, and the tail, can't really tell, but it's on a little crooked, but it gives it character. Also, I thought I had enough, and I don't know if I had started using this skein before and didn't realize, or I think it might be one of those skeins that's a little less than what it says it is. But I ran out, like, right when I was towards the end. So, you can see the darker color here. This is the prairie color, and the prairie has more, what's the word, deserty colors. They're browns, but they're little greens, and different shades in there. Almost a rusty red in there a little bit, but more browns and greens, so you can see. So it's almost like he has a little diaper on, a little pants, underwear on or something. But anyway, so this is Sparkles, Glimmer, Glitter. So Miss Cece, you know the drill. It can't be yours unless you contact me, even though I know you. So there you go. There is your Amineko, made by moi. So give me a call, or a text, or an email with your 411, even though I have it. And I will have that shipped out. Okay. Alright, I said I needed to be quick. The other thing, I never acknowledged the last random act. The question I had asked was, how long does it take you guys to do blankets now? I think consensus-wise, anywhere from a week to a month or more for some people. For me, you know, I'm the more. Unless it's a corner-to-corner, super bulky, which I can do in less than, you know, I think I did the last scrappy one that I did in like 3 days, but I was just going because I was just using up all the scraps. But most people were like a week, but there were some ambitious people out there, and I raise my hand to you guys that a couple of days, 4 days, you know, I think somebody even said they were hours that they made a blanket, so kudos to you. I'll leave it all up to you because, you know, blankets not my favorite thing. But thank you for participating in that. And then, let's see, where am I? I had a question about, oh, the other thing. Oh, man, I'm all over the place. That's what my week has been like. What you guys were doing for the 4th. Most people were doing nothing, hanging out with family. That's what we did. We actually didn't go anywhere. This is, I think, the first time in a long time. The minions have been staying up way late, sometimes all night playing games. It's summer vacation. And both of them are working, so they have their work hours, so... But they pretty much slept half the day, and we just hung out, did nothing, which was awesome. Didn't have to go anywhere, you know, deal with traffic or anything like that. It was awesome. So I hope you guys had a good time as well, relaxing time as well. Next question. I asked this on Instagram. So I go to a weekly meetup group. It started as, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the meetup app where you can look for in your city or in your surroundings. All kinds of meetups are on there. So that's how I found them. and we used to meet at a coffee shop, and that place closed, and now we've been meeting at Panera, I think now for 3 years. But one of the ladies there, she is a knitter, and she said she wanted to learn crochet, and I'm like, oh, you can do it. I pointed her towards some YouTube tutorials, showed her this, that, and she picked it up like fire. And she's done corner to corner. She's done quite a few virus blankets, other blankets. Did she do a granny square? Ooh, I am sweating. My apologies. Hang on. Ooh. I need to be all fancy and dab. But anyway, this past week she was, what was she working on? She was working on something, I forget. But she had an eye hook that was 5.25, and I'm like, where did you get that? I thought first off that it was something old, and she's like, no, she's pretty sure she bought it at Walmart. And I was telling, a friend of hers came as well, and it was just the three of us left there. So we were chatting, and I was telling her about, and the friend is very new learning to crochet, like really new, about the hook sizes, and telling her that I like to go by the millimeters instead of the numbers, or the letters, because not all, again, hooks are created equal as far as size-wise, but a millimeter is a millimeter. But if you tell somebody a G, you have G's that are just what we're used to. It's usually the 4 millimeter. And then there are some that I've seen that are 4.25. Not as common, but I've seen them. So I thought maybe she had something old. She said no, she's pretty sure she bought it at Walmart, and since she's been crocheting just since last year. But her eye hook was 5.25 millimeter. I completely thought that it's, you know, maybe it was something handed down, because her friend who came had hooks that were from her grandmother. There were names on it. I think the one that she had was a hero hook. Yeah, there was I want to say there was a plastic one, but the big one was metal. But anyway, just curious. I asked on Instagram. A lot of people seem to have that hook. Some people have ones that are old, that was passed down, but yeah, I've never seen it, but quite a few people said, yeah, they have that, and that's the size of their hook. So I was quite surprised. So what about you? Do you have a 5.25 eye hook? Because that's new to me. And I'm going to have to check Walmart next time I go to see if it's there. All right, that's that. One other thing, all the bags I showed last week, I've listed it on Etsy. One of them's actually been bought and mailed off. So if you guys interested, that's what I have. I have not had a chance to do any sewing. The short week, and just, I don't know. I can't put my finger on why I have not been able to get anything done this week, other than all the whips I've started. Okay, let's move on. Speaking of whips, I'm going to be bending because they're all at my feet. Hopefully I'm not knocking anything, showed the sweater that I started. Did I show it? I started last time, which is the My Boy Lollipop sweater. It looks like I haven't gotten any further because I had to rip back 7 rows. And never in my wildest dreams would I think that I would have said I could rip back 7 rows. But I used a lifeline. I've used it before on, did I use it on a shawl, a simple shawl before? But I actually had to rip back because the pattern calls for an increase and then a plain row, increase and plain row, and I completely forgot the plain row and just kept going on the increases. So, no, it wasn't 7. There were 7 rows of increases, but I had to rip back 4 of the rows so I can insert the plain row. So that was a bummer, but I was able to use my lifeline and it worked. I struggled around where the increases were and whether or not I was putting it in the right place, but I got it, and whew, that was a moment. So that was cool. Pardon again. The other thing that I started, I mentioned last time, was the, oh, I'm trying not to waste paper and only print the pattern once, and I don't see it in here. Oh, that's because I printed 2 patterns on one paper, 2 different patterns, so I'm using it on something else, and it's somewhere. But I started the MCal, the Mystery Cal by the Crochet Project. Like I said, last year I did the skimming stones. This year it's a mystery as well, and it's called the something shells, and I don't have the paper in front of me. Shell to shell, shell on shell. I'll put it in when I'm editing. But I started it, and I started Clue 2. So if you're participating in that and you don't want to see, then give me a few minutes and fast forward. But so I said I was going to do it in this speckled worsted weight that I had from Joann's. I changed my mind because while I was putting some yarn away, I finally cleaned my floor. Ooh, hiccups. I forgot that I had bought these at Michael's. They were on clearance. Do you see that? DK. So I have, I think, 10 skeins, maybe. They are 50 gram skeins with 1.75 ounces, 125 yards a piece. Is the variegated the same? Yep. So I have a brown, which is called Mocha, which looks black, but it's brown. It's called Mocha. Then I have this red, which is Claret. And this is way redder on screen than it's showing here. And then I have this multicolor, which is Autumn Spice. And one that I finished, which is, or almost finished, Eggplant. Now this is looking blue, but it's purple. Definitely purple. So this Autumn Spice has all 3 of those colors, the brown, the claret, the purple, and it also has another lighter shade of brown that they didn't have on clearance at the time, so, or it was all gone. But anyway, hang on, everything's falling off. So I decided to use that instead. It'll be closer to the lightweight that they wanted, and the pattern called for sock yarn with a 4mm. I'm using the DK with a 4.5mm. I should have gone up to a 5, but anyway, it'll stretch because this is all wool. So this is Clue 1 down here, which is 2 types of shells. Or was it 1? I think it was 1. And here, so here up to here, there are 3 types of shells. The same one that's down here, and then 2 others, and I'm still working on it here. I have not finished Clue 2, and Clue 3 came out on Friday. So I'm behind on that as well. I'm also, excuse the head, behind on the, I shouldn't say behind because it's every 2 weeks, but the Unraveled Mitten, the last square came out, and not the last, the next square came out, number 13. I haven't even looked at that yet, so I totally actually forgot until I think I was watching Scraptastic Yarns, Jane, and she mentioned it was out. I think it was Jane. Somebody mentioned it was out. I was watching, and I'm like, oh yeah. So that's how my week's been. So that's the whip. The others are ones that you've seen before. Hang on. This bag is full of that pattern I'm working on for fall. It's full of 3 different worsted weight yarns, including mandala, which this is the, and it's a mess because I have to rip stuff out. This is the Balance colorway. Not usually my go-to kind of colorway, too pastel-y, and don't fall. But I'm actually liking, blown out as usual, but I'm liking the way it's working out. It's working up so far with the pinks and purples. And I do like the feel of this mandala, working with it. Because I used it with the latte cakes for the cowls, but I hadn't worked with it on its own to actually feel what it's like, so I don't mind that at all. I haven't given the sock a second look from the last time I worked on it. And then the other project bags, I'll put a picture of what I posted on Wednesday, because I was having, nothing was getting done, and I had nothing to post on Instagram, so I took a picture of all my project bags. Yeah, so it's just full of other projects that I'm trying to get into rotation to at least visit them, so they don't get lost and forgotten. Okay, so that's it for whips. And I don't have a lot of, where am I? I don't have a lot of finished items at all. I have really 3. 2 of them are headbands, and I'm not sure if I showed again last time, but this is just the latte cake again. It's becoming my thing. I have 1 open skein and then 1 more full skein left to at least make a couple more cowls out of it. But the turquoise yarn in here is actually leftover yarn from that skimming stones from last year, the crochet along. I bought way more yarn than I needed. I thought I did, so I have a few. Oh man, complete disaster over here. But it's just acrylic Stitch Studio samples from AC Moore. So I doubled it, and I held it with, did I double it? No, I tripled it. I don't know if you guys have ever used that method to take a single strand of whatever yarn. Usually it's worsted because you're trying to make it into a super chunky, and then you can triple it. If I can find a tutorial, I'll put it down below. But you take the one yarn and you can work it so that you can triple it to make a super bulky without having to hold 3 strands of yarn. It's all coming out of the one skein, so you can turn this into basically 3 strands and work from just pulling it from that one ball. So that's what I did here. And then I had 1 skein of this, and I think I may have made this too big. I wasn't paying attention. But 1 skein of I forget, something tweed from Hometown, USA. There was 1 lone skein in my stash, so I made a headband, and there was a little bit left over somewhere, so that's going to go into my scrap blanket if I ever get to work on it again one day. Okay, next thing, I made 1 more cowl, even though I'm supposed to be working on hats, but like I said, I cleaned my floor and I was putting yarn away, and this one fell out, and I like the colors of it, so I mixed it with the latte cakes again. So this is a skein of Charisma, and it is so squishy along with the latte cake. Yeah, so 1 skein of Charisma, which is not enough to make the cowl, but what I ended up doing, I ran out up here, so I ended up just doubling up the latte cake, and you can hardly tell at all. And then you'll get all that slippery, squishy softness right around your neck. So worked out just fine. All right. And then, excuse me, my only other finished item that I did this week was, I'm looking for this pen. I made myself a tote. I've been meaning to make a tote, and then Debbie, Canadian Crocheter, had sent me one that I think I'm going to use to put a bunch of the bags that I have sitting on the floor here, because I think it's big enough to hold all the bags, and it can sit nicely instead of everything spread around me. But I wanted to make a tote because she says it's super easy, and it pretty much is. Stinking cute. So I bought these 2 fabrics to make a bigger bag, and I think initially I was thinking tote, but just a bigger bag to put all my pins on, because I have them on, oops, I just lost a pin. I have them on this bag that I made, and it's just a zipper bag with a plain lining. I made this a couple of years ago, and it was just sitting there, so I put it on there because it was a little heavier material than the usual, but it was getting a little heavy for that bag, so I wanted a bigger bag to put them all on. But I wasn't sure if I could do the tote, but I did it, and I love the size. It's like the perfect carry-on, carry-all bag. I even thought the handle was too long, but I like it, actually. And look, I've got threads and bits of yarn that were attached to it. So yeah, like I said, I bought the bird fabric and then the plain yellow fabric to make that bag, and it's been sitting there, so I ended up just making the tote, and I am quite pleased with how it turned out. I also added a pocket on the inside, which I think is like my favorite part. It's not going to show up. I'm probably going to, I'll put in a picture. But look. So when I cut, what I'm finding is I don't think ahead when I cut pattern fabric until I'm done, and I'm like, oh, to make sure that the pattern, at least a good chunk of it, can be seen properly. So when I cut, the bird is way down there. The bird is way down there, but you can't see it. So I was able to get those in there. But the pocket has the bird front and center. I'll put a picture so you can see it better. So it's a regular pocket and then two smaller pockets so you can put either a pen or your hook in there. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I have been I've been watching a ton of videos on how to do the recessed zipper. I haven't tried yet. It's a little more involved. But that's what I want to do because I showed the picture to my mom, and now she wants a tote bag. But my mom is a pack rat. If you ask for anything, it's probably in her purse. You need a pin? Yeah. You need Band-Aid? Yeah. You need tissues? Yes. Anything. You need, you know, headache medicine? It's in her purse. She wanted a bigger purse, so bigger than this. So I went and, so this is all for my finished items that I did. Like I said, not much done. I didn't even get a hat done, other than I did get 2 of them done for the pattern that I'm going to be using in the fall, but it's not quite where I need it to be yarn-wise, and now I have to wait for yarn from, or the final word from the coordinator on what I should be using. So, since I got no hats done, since my mom wanted a bag, and that's the trouble with me going shopping for stuff. I buy way more than I need, and I'm working on making myself not do that. But she wanted either a brown or black, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be so boring. So, at first I bought this. So Walmart, this one was on clearance too for $2, but I think it's usually like $3.97. Yes, $3.97. The plain ones are $2.97, but the pattern ones are $3.97, but this was $2. So this is black with white polka dots, and I know after I bought this, I'm like, I don't think she's going to want white, even though it's in polka dot form. But, so I went and I got her the brown. These are $2.97 at Walmart. I went to a different Walmart than my usual one, and they still, I think someone said that they were moving away from doing fabric on a bolt, but they still had some there. My local Walmart hasn't had fabric on a bolt for years. They got rid of that. So they just have things like that, or fat quarters. But this one still does, but they also had a whole lot more of these on racks, rather than what they used to have for bolts. So maybe it is going away, or maybe they're just scaling it down a whole lot. But so I got that to hopefully make her tote. And I wanted to do the recess zipper, but I don't think I'm there yet. So I'm just going to do like a plain zipper, like you're doing a zipper pouch. I'll do her tote like that, with that zipper, because I know she's going to want some kind of closure. But while I was there, they were having clearance on some fabric, fat quarters. So this is a pink and gray and white chevron, and these elephants. So I figured these two will go great together for a small pouch, because they only had one of each, so if they had two of each, then I could make a regular size, but we'll see what I can get out of that. And then I bought one of these at my local Walmart last week. Ooh, excuse me. Because they only had one, so I picked up another one. And then I bought a bunch of these, which I don't think were on clearance, but I just bought them anyway. This is so the same like the pink chevron. There's this one. That was 50 cents as well. And then these were the regular 97 cents. So, owls. It's coming out really nice on camera right now. I know it's a little blurry. But yeah, owls. There was only one of this one. And then I got two of these alpaca and cacti. And then I got the last three of this. I love these. I love the people who do amigurumi that looks like this. Yep. There's an Instagram I follow, Aradia something, that her amigurumis look a lot like that. Real cute. I bought one, which I still haven't made yet. But anyway, 3 of those. That's my acquisition. Alright, that's it for my stuff. I really need to clean up the mess because I have about 4 or 5 different yarns here when I was trying to figure out the hat and what yarn to use. So now I have that on hold. I can put those back, hopefully. Alright, the other thing I got was, I had won one of Lisa of Happy to Hook's giveaway. Scusi. Alright, I had won one of Lisa Happy to Hook's giveaway a while back. I forget which one. But I got my box and I opened it just now to see what was in here, and I got another Yarn Bee Luxe Lolly. Angelia had sent me one. I got one from the Hobby Lobby I go to when the clearance was happening, so now that's a third. There is a little bag of the Pom Poms, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Pom Poms. And I actually have, for this size, I have some that, the keychains from Michaels. They're not as fluffy as this one though, but I have a bunch of those. So I was thinking for the fall, any of the hats I made in the smaller sizes, I was going to put those on there, but now that'll come in handy. She also included a little pampering thing. So we have some Yankee candle. Is it Yankee candle? I have no idea. But it's cinnamon, and who doesn't like cinnamon? One of my favorite holiday smells. Yes. It like instantly transports you to like the holiday time. There's some mints. Always come in handy. I might have to keep these in the car. And then she included lavender sage wickless fragrance cube. Are they melts? I just say wickless. Ooh, ooh. Smells so nice and fresh and clean. I like lavender, and sometimes I don't. I think sometimes it can just be too overpowering, but this, I think it's the sage in it. It's just a nice clean smell. So yeah, there's that. That will be for moi. She mentioned, oh, her card. She did put a really nice card in here, and I love, when I was feeling it, I'm like, wow, that's an awfully thick card. So, did you make that? There's the inside part, but the covering is this, what do you call them? Like it was a handmade paper, almost. But she mentioned in her note that the pampered items, that she knows I like wine, so she can see me, you know, with the candle and having a glass of wine, the candle going. Why not? And she included this soap, lavender soap. So this, I actually buy a lot of these, and I buy these at the Dollar Tree. So tip for you, for your yarn storage, if you keep them in the tubs or any kind of bins, go to the dollar store, buy these, and just toss them in in the bin with the yarn. Like, you know, if a month later you go open your bin, you'll be pleasantly surprised. I even buy them, and the cubes that I have, I tuck them in between areas in the cube. So on really warm days, they've been there quite a while, so the scent's probably dissipated. But when you first put them in, and if it's a warm day, you walk into the room, yeah. So that's my tip. Dollar Tree. All right. So the yarns that came, really soft. So Mary Maxim, the labels ripped on this one. I don't know what it says. Something value. The ultimate yarn to fit any budget. It's worsted weight. It's a very thin worsted weight though. So it's really soft, and I can see myself tripling this and actually making a cowl out of it. Ooh. And I think this will go great with the latte cake too. Ooh. Yeah. So there are two of those. There are two of Bernat Softy Chunky. And it's funny, it's two of their different labels too. This kind of reminds me of Hometown USA, how they're rebranding, and that's kind of what it looks like. I don't remember which is the newer one. And then there are three sugar wheels. 3 Yarn Bee sugar wheels in That's My Jam. It's blowing out. Oh, there you go. So that's like a plummy purple. There's blue in the middle, a light blue in the middle. Little navy blue, and back to that light blue again. So there are 3 of those in here. So that was my prize. These might become headbands. This I'm definitely going to triple and do a cowl. So let's put everything back in here. There's still such a mess in here with boxes and stuff, because I have a couple of things to mail out. That Minion 1 walked in and goes, "Are we moving?" Because there was this box unopened, and I have 2 like priority boxes from the post office that were propped up against it. So no, we're not moving. So thank you very much, Lisa. Yeah, I might have to have a mint. I'll leave that one out. All right. Now I gotta find room for this. I am quite literally, unless there is a really good sale going on, I really need to stay out of the yarn store, because not only do I not have anywhere to put it, it's that anxiety is coming back again about having so much yarn and not using it. And that on top of the fact that I need to use it because I need to do stuff for the fall, and I've got fiber on my lip. So that doesn't want to come off. Okay. Anyway, pretty ho-hum episode. Last thing, I have hit 2,000 subscribers, so I'm going to do a little giveaway for that. I say a little giveaway because I've been doing the random act of sharing, and since I've been doing these weekly for a while now, which is going to slow down a bit, because I think I've gone through all the bags that I was going to give away. So I just need to figure out what else I'm going to do for those. But for the 2,000 subscriber giveaway, and hopefully I don't knock you guys over by hitting the camera, I have packed a bag or a box to give away. I'm going to try to bend it without. And everything looks dark. So There are going to be two winners, two different prizes. There's going to be a winner that's going to get this, and then another winner who's going to get $10 worth of patterns from Ravelry. It is going to be Ravelry if you're not on there, and with everything going on, if you have objections to that, then I would advise that you don't participate, because it's only going to be through Ravelry I'm going to do this. Yeah, so $10 in patterns, not 1001, not 1005, $10 worth of patterns from Ravelry for the second person that I picked. But for the first person, you are going to get 2 skeins of Mandala Sparkle in the colorway Hercules, and I tried very hard to get the same starting, which I did. So there's that. There are 2 skeins of one of my favorites, is Knit Picks Brava Bulky, and it's not used. The when I was trying to reorganize my cubbies a bit, the labels were a bit loose, so I just folded it on itself to make it tighter to stay on. So that's all that is. It hasn't been used. So 2 skeins of Solstice Heather. It's navy blue that's almost heathery. You can and can't tell. I like it. It's a nice navy color, and this is almost okay, maybe just a tad bit blown out. Okay, and then you always hear me talk about my favorite yarn that's sadly discontinued. You get 2 skeins of Big Twist Premium, and matches my shirt. It really does. And the colorway is Premium Sangria, so it's a pink, a berry pink color. So there will be 2 of those, and then 2 skeins or 2 balls of Valley Yarns Southwick, which is 52% Pima cotton, 48% bamboo viscose. So there are 2 of those, and this has 105 yards in each, 50 grams. So there's that, and then anything else that I may toss in here, little bits and bobs, but that's it. So for the 2,000 subscriber giveaway, which again, all my giveaways last a week, so I usually pull the winner on Friday night. I'll probably do it Saturday before I record again. Unless I'm late recording, then there will be an extra time, but I will pull the winner on the day that I record, which is Saturday or Sunday, mostly Saturday, but I don't know what my plans are yet, if I'm going to be around. So yeah, you just have to be a subscriber. Yeah, nothing specific to ask. You just have to be a subscriber, and you do have to make a comment, because I will pull from the comments below. So just for fun, that hook size that I mentioned, do you have those odd hooks, and are they old ones, or are they newer? Did you recently buy them? Do you have a 5.25 eye hook, which still just boggles my mind, because I've only ever seen the 5.5. So let me know. But thank you guys for spending time with me, for visiting, for purchasing my patterns, for just chit-chatting, for being here, for being part of this community, for despite the ups and downs that the community is having. It happens. Yeah, thank you. That's all. My way of saying thank you. So, like I said, there will be 2 winners picked, one for the yarn and one for $10 worth of patterns on Ravelry. So, I think that's it. Oh, I'm going to cause an avalanche. Sparkles, or I think I like twinkles, because the sparkles aren't like in your face, they're just here and there. So And you see, oh, you can see the sparkles, the twinkle. So, Twinkle and I says we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.